Okay, team, good morning. We'll see if people will join on here, but I'm having some technical difficulties of logging on to Facebook to do a live. So I'm going to do a live on Instagram. Um, who's here? Who's here? Hi, Jen. How's it going?
It's going. I'm here.
Good, me too. I am having some technical difficulties of streaming. So I'm going to be going on. I was hoping to do this on live on Facebook too, but I'm going to go live on Instagram and we'll just kind of see how the cards play. But I'm just going to get everything all set up here. I got an exciting topic today that I'm very excited about, and I'm bummed that let's see. Let's see. Checking connection. Great. We love that. Hell, the internet. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. If Instagram doesn't do it, then we'll just post it later. We're having trouble doing live videos. Okay, so it must be Instagram and Facebook. Anyways, we're going to move on. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Find Your Fit Club call, our weekly call. I hate how the internet gives me all frazzled when things don't work, but we're moving on. Today, we have a very spicy topic that I'm excited to talk about because not only have I worked with folks on the supplement, it's amazing. We have come to a point in our healthcare system that has provided a supplement for people to lose weight. And it is a incredible phenomenon. It's amazing how medicine and Western medicine has developed and is able to cure so many different things. And I am not here to dog on this weight loss drug, GLP-1s. I am here to educate. I'm here to bring solutions, and I'm here to listen to people that are experiencing this support, because that's what it is. It's a support that people are able to utilize so that they can achieve their weight loss goals. So the objective for today is to educate and support people who have been on GLP-1s, who are currently on GLP-1s, or are planning to be on GLP-1s, and how to really live a sustainable life through a weight loss journey, with some side effects from this drug that can continue to help you on your journey in a healthy way. I'm so thankful that is on here. I know I have another client that has experienced GLP-1s. I've experienced lots of clients that have been on GLP-1s. If you are open to sharing, it's okay if you're not. Your experience on GLP-1s, how long were you on them? How long were you on them? What were the results that you found? If you're still continuing, what does that look like? If you're not continuing, what does that look like, especially for those that are watching the replay? Jen, I don't know if you're in a place to share. If you don't want to share, that's fine. Let me know. But I'd love to hear your experience if you're available for that.
Just ignore the hot mess here.
It's
This
hot, baby.
cold is this cold is kicking my ass.
That's okay. That's okay.
So what? I want to say I was on them for about a little over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I dropped my 70 pounds. I've been off of them now. I don't know what you and I think I
A
figured out
year.
about a year or so now that I've
Mm-hmm.
been off of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've only gained anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds, but that is
Mm-hmm.
my own problem. That is my own way of eating.
Sure.
Um, I don't know. I think a lot of it was the prescriber that I was working with that gave
Mhm.
them to me would not give me the information or the data that I wanted.
Mm.
So like I would go in for my appointments, my follow-ups and ask, "Okay, so what should my calorie intake be?" You
Mhm.
know, "How is this going to affect?" Because I was starting to get back into working out again
Mhm.
on a regular. Because I mean, obviously I was working with you on a regular at the time too.
Mhm.
Um, and then I know we kinda stepped back in regards to the holidays and life and everything
Sure.
else, but they could never tell me, "Oh, don't worry about it, just keep doing what you're doing, blah, blah, blah." Eat what was it? 1 meal a day is what they recommended. Didn't maybe a few snacks, do the fasting. They just couldn't give me the information I wanted, and that is
Mhm.
where I stopped taking them.
Mhm.
And actually, I think I ended up throwing away almost 2 months worth
Oh, shit.
because I was done.
Mhm.
And then I went to my actual family doctor, and she unfortunately there wasn't much she could do because she's like, "I don't have any knowledge behind them." She goes, "I" you know, she did recommend me continue taking them,
Mhm.
because I think I ended up having when I went and saw her, I had 4-month supply left,
Mhm.
and she told me to wing off them. So
Mhm.
instead of a weekly injection, I went from an every 2 week
Mhm.
to then an every 3 week,
Mhm.
and then to once a month. We did that. I think that only took me a couple months to go through that.
Sure.
And then I stopped taking them.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely helped at the very
Totally.
beginning to figure
Yeah.
out, understanding my body, what I needed because I was having so many gut issues prior to
Mhm.
doing this. So I am thankful for the original provider that got me going and helped me understand more of my, health issues and gut problems. But for the GLP-1s, I think they need more knowledge. I think there needs to be more information given,
Mhm.
especially those who, for instance, me as a runner, I can't just eat 1 meal a day and have that sustainable. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out. I was
Mhm.
exhausted. I actually could find myself getting very weak and
Mhm.
lightheaded through working out. Even when
Yeah.
I was even trying to consume more food or whatever, it was a struggle. And
Yeah.
still to this day, trying to eat
Mhm.
all those 3 meals, it's still a struggle.
Totally. Totally. Oh my gosh, you brought up so many good points, and thank you for sharing. I
Of course.
really appreciate it because this is exactly what I'm hearing. I'm hearing I got my goal weight, and now once we've reached kind of that goal weight, it's like, well, I'm what next? I'm ready to achieve the next goal. And I love what you said because I do believe it is a blessing, like I said in the beginning, for someone to take something that it takes the initial weight off so that we can then accomplish the goals that we want. Meaning, I can lose the 50 pounds and then I can start focusing on running and strength training because it's hard to do that with 50 extra pounds. I get that. I totally understand that. It makes you even more tired. It's harder on the joints, it's harder on muscles, it's all the things. And so I get the initial reason to do it because it takes the weight off and then it makes the journey a little bit more palatable, less intimidating. You're seeing the results. You're seeing the actual physical. You're liking what you're seeing, mentally and physically. You're seeing so that of course you're getting this high essentially um, from the results of the GLP-1s. Totally understandable. What you said that is so important, which I find is blasphemy, is that they're providing a supplement without an action plan. And that to me is a major red flag. And the reason why I understand that people surpass that red flag is because the weight loss is so valuable mentally to get that weight off and to be in a smaller size, regardless of how, that goal is now achievable. And it's almost like I'll get to that action plan later, is what I'm hearing. And for me as a health coach to watch this epidemic happen is awesome and very scary because I'm seeing people have low energy. I'm seeing people move less. I'm seeing people truly shrivel their bodies down to look a certain way rather than feeling a certain way, and actually not being healthy, but just having the weight loss. And there's a big difference there. And I want to talk about this and I want to continue this conversation. And I'm going to continue this conversation as a program too in the future because I was, 6 months ago talking about how terrible they are and how awful they are and why you shouldn't be doing them. And as I still believe that as a health coach, I want to be able to provide a solution because people aren't going to stop taking this. It is one of the most powerful weight loss drugs we've ever seen, other than like fentanyl or fen back in the day when that was speed essentially is what people used to take, and people's hearts were basically exploding at that point. And so that was very much down regulated and never FDA approved. But now we actually have doctors and big pharma supplying this to anyone that has borderline insulin resistance or blood sugar sensitivity. And if your blood work appears on any of those levels, or if you have a history of being a certain ethnicity that is not palatable, but that is prone to, I don't know if that's the right word, to having insulin resistance or blood sugar sensitivity, they have no problem prescribing that. Jen and I went to the actual same doctor. I remember as soon as I went, I was actually the healthiest I've ever been, and at that point, and they even prescribed it to me because I have have a Hispanic ethnicity in my life that is susceptible, is the word I was looking for blood sugar sensitivity and insulin resistance. So that was shocking to me. And so to hear how this is kind of being dealt like candy without an action plan is very scary. So I am here to provide the action plan because what GLP-1s are made for are to help with insulin resistance, blood sugar sensitivity or regulation, and appetite control. It literally is a psychological brain shift to signal your hormones that you are full and that you're not needing an excess amount of food, which makes sense as to why we're losing weight, right? If we just look at calories in versus calories out, we're not consuming a lot of calories. I think Jen and I talked when she was on them, she was definitely under 1,000 calories a day when she was eating her one meal a day. So just by, if she was to do that without GLP-1s, she would still lose the weight, but it would be a lot more drastic because of the support system. Am I on track so far, Jen? Awesome. So that's great and all for this support system to regulate and help with, especially with those who are addicted to food. This is a very supportive supplement. I don't want to call it a drug. I'm going to call it a supplement. This is a very supportive supplement that can help with that. The reason why I have an issue with a supplement supporting that is because we're not getting to the root issue. And if you know me as a coach, we are always talking about the root issue. We are always getting to the root problem because there's an underlying reason why the weight gain is there in the first place, why it's challenging for us to get it off, and how do we get to the root of that problem so that we can solve it, so that we can change our lives, so that we can support a healthy lifestyle that is forever rather than just a short amount of time. Being on GLP-1s, from what I've researched and what I've heard from people, it's prescribed to people without the plan of coming off. The goal is to keep people on it for as long as possible. Two reasons. One, it's fucking expensive. It's super fucking expensive and they want your money. Of course, everyone wants a paycheck, right? Two, it is literally getting you the results that you're wanting. So if someone is seeing results and actually physically looking the way that they've always wanted to look, people are going to pay for that. And they don't have to work as hard to sustain it. They have a supplement that's supporting it that can last forever. Little man, don't wake up. Go back to sleep. Little man might be waking up. So with all that to be said, my goal for this conversation is to talk about the action plan and to continue this conversation for a long time, because my motto is if I can't beat them, I'm going to join them, and I'm going to join them in an action plan, because I see, again, a lot of people with low energy that are shriveling down to their weight, actually below their ideal weight, and feeling like they're stuck because they can't actually live a healthy lifestyle. They're just aesthetically looking like that they're living a healthy lifestyle. Yes, they're like accomplishing some things activity wise and nutritionally, but the supplement actually is inhibiting that future for you when you take GLP-1s, meaning you're not able to consume proper amount of calories to accomplish the activities that you're wanting to accomplish, like running, weightlifting, building muscle, all of those things. So when you are on GLP-1s, you are on a significant appetite suppressant. So as a coach, I want to encourage people, even though you're on it, we have to work within our means. One meal a day cannot be the thing. We cannot just be functioning off of one meal a day. So when we're on GLP-1s, we have to try and really force our bodies to get enough nutrients with, basically it's like trying to break through a glass ceiling. You see the glass, but there's concrete right up above it. So you can break through the glass ceiling, but you can't break through the concrete. So how do we work within that concrete ceiling? Protein, an adequate amount of activity for the energy that you are allowing inside your mouth, energy, food. So we prioritize protein. We focus on meal structure and timing, essentially, and really focusing on hydration. And supplements are not required, but are suggested because you're not able to ingest food. So taking supplements would be a very important part of the regimen. For example, protein shakes, greens, and for sure creatine, and sometimes hydration like element sticks or salt, magnesium. Those four different types of supplements would want to be a part of the regimen so that you're getting it in liquid form rather than in food form, essentially. Jen, when you were on GLP-1s, what were some of the staples that you had as part of your regimen, food and supplement wise?
Um, you know what? I honestly don't remember, other than that is why I'm burnt out on my bare chicken bites and
Mm-hmm.
frozen veggies is because that
Mm-hmm.
was my number one go-to.
Yeah.
As soon as I broke my fast, it was easy to toss those veggies in the air fryer,
Mm-hmm.
toss the chicken bites in the air fryer, and that's how I broke my fast.
Mm-hmm.
Protein shakes. I think I was big into the protein shakes and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that came later on because I, for the most part, lived on tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
And I know I went back and forth between some reds and greens, but because of my stomach and
Mm-hmm.
whether or not, because I don't know if it was the meds, the supplements, or if it was just the way I was consuming stuff, I had diarrhea all the time.
Yeah. I've heard that as a side effect. I've heard that as a side effect from the GLP-1s is not having the most ideal bowel movements. And one of the things that I talk about with my clients is bowel movements. That is a daily deposit of how our digestive system is working. And same with urine, and then especially for women, our periods, like that is, we deposit liquids that actually give us feedback about how the body is doing. And that is a major side effect, is having diarrhea, because it's a foreign language into our bodies. Our bodies don't really know how to yet. I mean, it does know how to process, because we do produce GLP-1s, which we've talked about as hormones, which is ghrelin and leptin. Those are our hormones that tell us that we're hungry, and then tells us that we're not hungry or that we're full. It really attacks those hormones, and it really tells our leptin that we're not hungry, and our ghrelin that we are full. So we are flip flopped. We want to make sure that both hormones are actually working, and GLP-1s actually suppress our leptin, letting us know that we're hungry. So um, when those hormones aren't working, our digestive system is off. So again, when taking GLP-1s, we have to have an action plan. And the action plan that I want to provide today is nutrition and fitness action. And I always talk about the 5 things. I'm going to repeat what the 5 things are. Stress. We have to make sure our stress is low. Regardless if you're taking a supplement or not, your stress, your cortisol affects your weight loss in a way. We want good stress. We like good stress. We like to be able to push our bodies. We like to be able to work out. We like to be, it's stress that is not necessary in our lives. Working a million hours, people pleasing, not setting boundaries, going above and beyond for everyone else except for yourself. Those are the types of stresses that I'm talking about, not working out, not doing the good things for your body. A lot of times people are like, oh, I don't want to work out today because I don't want my cortisol to go up. No, go work out, because that's actually going to release your cortisol and actually benefit you. So we want to make sure that we are supporting our hormones by lowering our stress. Second, sleep. You cannot outrun bad sleep. If you're not getting at least 7 hours of sleep, your body's not able to run on optimum fuel. It's just not able to, because it's going to downshift into your hormones and increase your hormones, leptin, to tell you, I'm not getting energy from sleep, so I need energy from food. So your hunger hormones are going to increase, and our bodies, when they're on this supplement, our body's not able to communicate to each other properly. So we want our bodies to be able to communicate to each other properly by allowing ourselves to have the baseline of having good sleep. Hydration. When we are on GLP-1s, we feel full a lot. So it's hard for us to drink an adequate amount of water, because water makes us full, especially when we're combining it with food. So a lot of times people aren't drinking enough water when they're on GLP-1s, because they feel like they're full, or they feel like that they can't put any more in the tank. So hydration gets lower on the totem pole, but we want to make sure that we're prioritizing hydration. When you're not on GLP-1s, you can really shoot for the moon with water. When you're on GLP-1s, we have to start kind of small. So I have been doing a little bit of research, and I feel like 60 to 80 ounces is a happy medium for those that are on GLP-1s. It's a good amount of water for us to stay hydrated, which means that sometimes we're going to have to add in some supplementation like hydration sticks, which are, I'm a big proponent for Element. But you can also just add pink Himalayan sea salt into your water with some lemon, and that's the same thing. And you get to adjust. You don't have to take the whole packet. But again, supplementing is part of the regimen with hydration. And then movement and nutrition have to be adjusted. So if I have a GLP-1 client come to me, I can't prescribe them macros like I normally would for someone who's not on GLP-1s. I would have to see how many calories that they're consuming, and I would really try to shoot for like 1,000 calories for them to be consuming. Within those 1,000 calories, my goal is to get as much protein as possible. And ideally, it's anywhere from 100 to 120 grams of protein. That if we can get anyone, whether you're on GLP-1s or not, to get on 100 to 120 grams of protein, you are going to be able to sustain muscles and even increase muscles when you are on GLP-1s. Protein is a building block for our muscles to grow. And we want that for not just for aesthetics, but also for functional movements around our home with our families, getting up and off the floor, and for long-term health. We want to prevent, one of the things that we're seeing with GLP-1s is people actually starting to get osteoporosis and osteopenia a lot faster because they're not supporting their bone health with strength training. That is something that is going to come down the pipeline where people aren't getting an adequate amount of strength training in or consuming a proper amount of protein. So their muscles are starting to deteriorate, and then it's also affecting bone health as well. So the goal we want to accomplish here is getting 100 to 120 grams of protein for nutrition, with the goal of hitting 1,000 calories a day, at least. That's what we're striving for. Let me do the math really fast. Well, 100 times 4 is 400, and then 120 times 4 is 480. So out of the 1,000 calories, 400 to 480 of the calories are protein. The rest are in carbohydrates and fats. And of course, we break that down into macros that way too. But that's the primary goal. Protein, because we help to maintain muscles, keeps us fuller longer, and also helps our metabolism to stay at a healthy, not stressed out level. With protein, we also want to contribute fiber. So fiber for women, we want anywhere between 25 and 30 grams of fiber per day. For men, we want 30 to 35 grams of fiber per day. So that in nutrition, oh, let me go get little man really fast. I'm still talking. So with nutrition, that's what we want to accomplish so that we can still have the energy. Hi, baby. Hi, sweetheart. Come talk to our friends. So that we can still have the energy for us to, one, live life with energy, and two, still accomplish the goals that we want, like creating muscle, going for runs, going to the gym, and having the energy to work out on a regular basis. Any questions so far? How is this sitting with you so far, Jen?
It's all real facts. I mean, it's what I wish I would have known a little bit more going into this when I did first start it, because I mean, I still am not at my goal weight. But to me, I'm not looking for that goal weight. It's all in regards to how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then still trying to do that sustainable life after it, I've still kind of struggled getting back on track because, you know, when you're on it, yeah, you're dropping weight, but where's all that skin going? You're not working out, you're not toning.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody banks on, skin removal surgeries and all
Mm-hmm.
this other stuff. And who wants those scars?
Right.
Thanks.
Or more stress on the body because
Yeah,
going
that
under
too.
surgery, that's the other thing. It's it's causing more stress by deepening your pockets to aesthetically look a certain way. Like back in the day when we were like, yes, tummy tucks were a thing, still are a thing. Breast augmentations, those are still a thing, right? Like there's still, I'm not saying aesthetics are not Botox, facelifts, all of those things. Yes, those things are all still very much in the beauty industry, fitness industry, all of the things. But now you're adding, like you said, skin surgery, major weight loss in such a fast amount of time that is also causing more stress on the body. So you lost 70 pounds in how much time?
In what, about a year and 3 months, give or take?
Which is actually good. That's actually healthy. That's a healthy amount of time to lose that weight. Some other people, because you had your shots adjusted, is that correct? The amount that you had per time?
Yeah, so they would start you off at the very lowest, which I want to say was 0.25.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 0.25, I went to 0.50. And then the 7.5, I think, was the last one. But it's also, they're coming out with so many different ones because it's almost impossible to even get your hands on them anymore because it's such a high demand. And it
Mm-hmm.
kills me to know that those that are diabetic that need them can't get their hands on them because everybody is so worried about weight loss.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And that is, yes. We'll touch on that a different time. But yes, that is, yes. It is becoming an issue. But
It is.
it's becoming an issue. And so we're here to take action. We're here to take action. We're here to take action. So that's what we're here for. So as far as, and this is also very important going back to our why, right? Why are we choosing to take the supplement? I was talking to a person yesterday, and for example, this was a great reason to go on them. She has had an issue with being addicted to food, and for one, two, she needs a double hip replacement. And I also want to think she had, or it's possible to have a knee replacement too. So she has to lose X amount of weight because she's unable to move physically. Here you go, baby. Because she's unable to move physically so that she can get the hip replacements so that she can become more mobile. Great. This is an advocate. This is a person that I advocate for because they need to be able to lose a certain amount of weight so that they can take the action that they're wanting to take moving forward. Love that. People who are wanting to lose the last 5 to 10 pounds, no, no, that's not what this is for. There's a big difference of who it's for and why we're taking it. But again, we're here to take action. We're here to talk about the action plan. Um, but even still, for this person I was talking to, needs an action plan when they are able to move, which goes into my next part. So we talked about nutrition of wanting to hit 1,000 calories. 400 to 480 of those calories is protein, and the rest we try to hit that fiber goal, 25 to 30 grams of fiber, and the rest falls into carbs and fats. So that's a really good blueprint. And of course, I will teach further on of how to get that blueprint, but that's the blueprint of nutrition that we want to really strive for when we are on GLP-1s, so that you can still help to promote fat loss, but you're also building muscle, you're protecting your muscles, and you have energy, you're satiated, and you're getting an adequate amount of nutrition so that you have energy. And we want to be able to, again, the goal is to live a healthy and sustainable life, either on the supplement and or off the supplement. Now, movement is so, so important. But because we have a lack of energy and possible muscle deterioration, which is called, why can't I think of it? Atrophy. When we don't utilize our muscles tend to shrink and not become as strong, and we're not able to have the strength that we want because we're not able to consume the amount of calories, and so it's not giving us the energy to want to go and strength train. Now, for folks that are on GLP-1s, I would not give you a workout plan that is exactly like someone who's not on GLP-1s. I would say, instead of, because normally I give like 4 to 6 exercises per body part, essentially. So if we're working legs or chest and tris or back and bis, there's about 4 to 6 exercises. People that are on GLP-1s, I would give 2, maybe 3. And to really emphasize and focus on those 2 or 3 exercises so that you don't burn out all of your energy, because again, we have to work within our means of the energy that we're consuming. We can't expect ourselves to go and run a marathon. We can't expect ourselves to go and be in a bodybuilding competition. We can't even expect ourselves to really um, increase muscle mass that much, because again, we're not consuming above our maintenance to be able to grow an adequate amount of muscle. But we are able to keep our muscle, we're able to have muscle retention, but also feeling good, right? Jen talked about feeling good. I'm able to physically go into the gym and do exercises and check that off of my list of things to do to feel good. And it's going to promote longevity and sustainable health long term. As well as, so, because some of the issues that I'm running into with people is that they are on GLP-1s, but they're not having the energy to go work out. That sucks. We want to be able to have the weight loss and be able to sustain it by, oh, hey, go Poopy. Good boy. I won't watch you. I won't watch you. I'm sorry. He said, Mama, don't look at me. Um, so this is why movement is so important, is because especially for someone like Jen who wants to be, or who is off of it, we want to be able to not have a dip in the post, which is what I'm seeing with a lot of people. They get off of it and then all of their energy is still continuing to be depleted, which is where the weight gain can come from, because they're consuming more food because they don't have that appetite suppressant that they had before, and lack of movement, which is a recipe for weight gain. It's not a big deal, it's reversible, but that's the reason why this is happening. So again, for movement, strength training 3 to 4 times a week with uh 2 to 3 exercises per weightlifting session. Cardio, we would not have intensive cardio unless you have the energy to do it, but I wouldn't waste your energy. Honey, I hear you. Here you go. I don't want to say waste your energy, but we don't want to expend all of our energy on a hit class when, again, we only have so much food that we're consuming. We have other things that we want to accomplish in the day. We want to make sure we have that energy. So this is where a step goal would be appropriate, with low intensive cardio. So low intensive, steady state cardio. So I wouldn't suggest 10,000 steps a day. I would suggest more the 7 to 8,000 steps a day. This again, you're still moving your body, you're still working within your means, but you're not overexpending yourself in exercises because you don't have enough energy. But again, you're still supporting your heart health. You're still being able to incorporate movement into your day, which is what we want. And of course, we still want rest days. Rest days are very important where you can still focus on your step goal. You can do stretching or just have a relaxing day. We want to incorporate those things as well. So, again, being on GLP-1s is not terrible, but I want to continue this conversation of how you can have long-term success with proper nutrition and fitness without burning yourself out and putting yourself down in the rabbit hole when you do come off of them at some point. Yes, you got poop in your butt. I know. We'll change you. It's almost done. So the goal that I want to hit the nail on the head with on today's call is that we want to choose mindset shifts and accountability and consistency. So, mindset shift, we want to make sure that we're getting away from quick fixes, right? Like, let's not think of GLP-1s as a quick fix. We want to think of it as a way for us to, no, to support each other and to support ourselves of what we want with a plan. But then we have to do the work. We have to do the work of showing up for ourselves nutritionally, showing up for ourselves physically, and showing up for ourselves how the smallest steps can make the biggest impact. So do not get on GLP-1s. Well, you can do whatever you want. But for those that actually want to make a plan and get off this shit at some point and to live a healthy and sustainable life, we want to make sure that we are taking the proper steps by focusing on the 5 things. Lowering your stress. Don't stress your body out more than it already is with this supplement. 2, making sure that you're getting adequate amount of sleep. Making sure that you're getting adequate amount of sleep so that you have the energy to go on with your life. And then, of course, hydration, which I will talk about a different time with adding more supplements into it to obtain the proper amount of hydration, but making sure that we're drinking. And again, this is for folks that are on GLP-1s or who are been significantly dieting, getting that 60 to 80 ounces of water per day. For nutrition, we want to make sure that we're hitting about 1,000 calories a day with 100 grams to 120 grams of protein. And then fiber, we want to make sure that we're hitting our fiber goals of getting 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day for women, and then 30 to 35 grams of fiber for men. And then the rest will fall. So this is why tracking is really important. We talked about tracking in the club yesterday. And how to do that properly and why it's so important. So if you're having any questions with that, let me know. And then movement. Movement, we want strength training 3 to 4 times a week with 2 to 3 exercises in those workouts that are working on functional movements. And again, I do this for my clients. So we're going to be starting the 12 days of fitness tomorrow. So we'll be working on this stuff starting tomorrow. And then cardio, we want a step goal anywhere between 7 to 8,000 steps a day. That's a great goal for us to continue. And so we want to make sure that we are holding ourselves accountable. The best ways to do that, obviously, with the members in the club, with me as your coach, and then consistency. Remembering it's all or something, not all or nothing. That was a lot of information. Jen, how are you feeling? How does this sit with you? Any comments, questions, concerns, ahas, feedback?
No, like I said before, it's all the information I wished I would have had more knowledge or understanding
Mm-hmm.
when first going on it.
Yep. But now
Because
you
when I
have
was
the,
in
oh,
it
go
was all
ahead.
new.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And now you're still working very hard to do the things that you need to do. So you're on the right track, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep. You're doing great. Well, those that are watching the replay, let's continue this conversation. This is not going to be the last time you hear me talk about this. I'm going to, like I said, if I can't beat him, I'm going to join him. And we're all about taking action and having accountability and consistency. And my people that are in the club are fucking working their asses off. They're working their asses off to have a sustainable and healthy lifestyle. And that's just what we do here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And like I said in the beginning, we get to the root problem so that we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel, so that we don't have to feel like we're climbing up a mountain and never coming down. We want to make sure that we are solving problems within our lives so that we can just move on and live healthy and be happy and joyful. That's the goal. Any questions before we close out, Jen? No.
No, you got any magic medicine to get rid of this head cold?
I've heard cloves. If you steep cloves, whole cloves, that's a anti-inflammatory. If you just, it's, do you have one of those like steeping
Oh
thingies?
yeah,
If you just put whole cloves and just drink that, I've heard that's a very, I've been doing that at night just for anti-inflammatory because I can't take ibuprofen or anything. So
gotcha.
yes, but that's my only suggestion. And rest
That's what
and
I'm doing
fresh
today.
air and fresh air and rest.
I don't know. The fresh air is what how I caught this damn thing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, just rest. Just rest. All right, my love. Well, make it a great day, okay?
See you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.